Hey guys, this is Mysterious Goofball and welcome to a tutorial on how to use my Spanish memorization game. This is it's a program to help you learn Spanish words by, basically it's a really complicated thing to randomize a bunch of Spanish words and then it'll ask you what they are. I'll get into that later, but I made this and it is a much better version of my old one. I actually made a video of how to use my old one, but I decided that since I made a new one, of course I would do a new video, so it's a little bit easier for certain people to learn how to use it. But if you do, just want to read, or like if you don't want to watch the video over and over and over again just to figure out how to work something, I did write some instructions here. I don't think they're very good, and so that's also one reason for the video, but you can read that, and maybe even later I will add something in the actual program so that you can just click on a button on the top corner, which I will show in just a minute, and it'll tell you what to do depending on where you are in the program. So we're going to get started by you just click this little green flag. Once you get to the website, click the little green flag up here, then you go down here and just click this little play button. You can also put it on full screen by clicking that. So if you're familiar with Scratch, it's just a programming thing on a program website, and I just used it to make my program. So you have 3 buttons that pop up and a couple of other ones. So we're going to start with what these do so you know what to do. This one will take you back to right here. So if you're like doing something, like maybe playing the game, you can just click on that and it'll bring you back here. One thing is that if it's asking you something, a little bar pops up down here, then you won't want to click on that because it'll do that. So you can probably stop the program and then click on it, and that'll go away when you click on the little stop sign button. That's not my program, that's actually the Scratch thing, and I can't really do anything about that. Other button right here, it's the volume. So all these buttons you double click, so if I double click this one, you can't hear it, but it'll start playing some music. Well, you can't hear it in the video. Then over here, you double click this, and this will show up, and this is where I will put the instructions later. But for now, it just says that if you have a question, go back and read the instructions. I will change that so that depending on where you are in the program, it'll have certain things show up. Alright, so we're going to start by doing this button right here. Click on the button and 2 more buttons pop up. This is something that I will show you later. Basically, if you if you put in the words that you want to learn in Spanish and then you're about to leave, you can just copy your lists, and then you can paste them somewhere, and so when you come back, you can just click on this button, paste it in there, which I will show in a minute, and it will put in all the words without you having to go through the whole program. But we're going to do this since I don't even have any words in here anyways. But I have this just in case you accidentally clicked on the button. You can hit yes or type yes and that'll continue on. You can type no and it'll take you back to settings. But first it's going to start by asking you the English word. So in this case, lately I haven't been putting a whole bunch of actual words. I've just been putting test. So I'll put test 1. Spanish word is S, or short for Spanish, test 1. And then something will pop up. This is accents in Spanish. Spanish has accents, and so for the accents, you'll see this right here. This will have the word up in here. You just press the arrow keys, and the parentheses will move from letter to letter. Whenever you have the parentheses around the letter you want to put an accent on, then you're going to click this button. Or if you really just don't want to move your hand all over to the mouse, because when I was working on this program, I was testing it, I thought that was kind of annoying. You can just press the D button for this button and the F button for this button because your hand is already there. And so right now, this is not going to have an accent. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'll set this E to an accent E. When we do that, this word is the final it is going to be the final Spanish word, and so then we're just going to continue on. I'm going to do test 2, and I'm going to do Spanish test 2 so I can show you something else that it does. it splits up the words, because if you have more than one word with more than one word for, like, it's not test 2, it's like 2 words in English and then 2 words in Spanish. If you want to have accents on both of those, then that's why I have it split up the words. I'm not going to set any accents on either of them. So then it puts the final one up here. We're going to do test 3. It doesn't do that for the English though. Spanish word, I'm going to do hola, just because I need to. And now it has the accent option. I'm going to set no accent. And then also something else that shows up is at the end of a word, certain words, it could have the A, like a A or an O at the end of the word, and not just like an A or just an O. So if you press this button, it'll keep it how it is. If you press this button, I'll show you what it does. It'll add a dash O if it ends with A, or a dash A if it ends with O. So then you're going to go on to, I'm going to do a test 4. And Spanish word, we're going to do this test 4. And then I'm going to do I'm going to do an OS. When you have an OS at the end, it's the same thing. So I'm not going to set an accent. But with an OS at the end, it'll do the same thing except AS or OS. And so at the end, it'll add a dash AS. So with my old program, this was a problem. So when I made the new one, I fixed it. Next English word, we're going to just do a test 5. Test 5. And then I'm just going to do a bunch of random stuff just to show you something else later. I'm going to not set an accent. And then we're going to do type. So I don't want to add any more words. So I'm going to type /done. And I'll go on to this. This is where you can copy your words, and then you can put it somewhere, and then you can bring it back up. And I'm not going to do that yet, because you can see here, this one I messed up on purpose so that I can show you what I do. I'm going to say yes, I do want to fix some words, and it's going to ask me which number it is on. So I'm going to say it's on number 5, since you can see right here, you just scroll through your list, and you can see which number it's on. So number 5, we're going to type in number 5. And then it's going to ask us the English word. So it's going to continue on like the first part of this. And then we're going to do S test 5. Do that. And then when it brings it up again, it won't have that messed up stuff anymore. Now if we go here, you just click on it and you can copy it. And I'm just going to paste it in a new tab for now. Then we're going to type /done, and I'll take us back to settings. Same thing here. If you go to the fix the lists, you can do, like, if you accidentally stop and you remember you need to add more words to it, you can go here and add on to the list, or you can go here and you can change the list, which is basically what we just did a little while ago. But I don't want to do any of these, so I'm going to go back to settings. I'm going to start the game. So now we're going to go, it's going to show up 2 buttons, one's Spanish to English, the other is English to Spanish. What this means is it will ask you the Spanish word, and you're all going to put in the English word. This one's going to ask you the English word, and you put in the Spanish word. So I'm going to start with this, and then if you want to, you can start with this, and it will be a little bit easier. But we just do this, and then test 1. That I think was test 3. Test 4. And then test 2. And so this is another list, which I realize I need to fix that. I'll do that later. Yeah, that's a problem. But back here, you can't really see it because this list is in the way. I don't know why it's like that. But back here, there's the time. So it'll show how long it took you to go through all this, and it looks like 16 seconds, which, you know, is really short, but it was only like 5 or 6 words. And so now you have 2 more buttons. Same thing applies with the F and the D. So I can hit I'm gonna hit keep on playing, and I'll show you what happens when you get one wrong. So So you get one wrong, and it's going to say no, and it'll tell you the real word. And so while you're going through this, it's not like you got to look at it, and like if you get it wrong, then you look in your book or whatever you're using to find these words. Make sure you figure out what the actual word is. It's going to tell you right here, and then it's going to ask you the next one. So we're going to put in test 1, and we're going to make a mistake on this one. And it shouldn't repeat it. Yeah, it doesn't repeat it. I'm going to put test 4, test 3, and then we're going to put in test 5, test 2, and now I'll show what words you had, what words you made a mistake on. So this time it took me 38 seconds, not a big deal. We're going to go back to settings, and we're going to go to the next part. This one's a little bit more complicated, so this button right here is probably the easier get you started, or for me what it would be for is whenever I try to read Spanish, like I go in and I'm reading a Spanish sentence, I have a little bit more trouble than when I'm reading an English sentence and I translate to Spanish in my head. So that you should do both of these if you really want to learn Spanish pretty well. Now we're going to do, let's see, it was S test 1. I think we had an accent on the E, so we're going to set an accent. It says yes, we got it right. So now we're going to do S test. And let's get this one. Let's see. Another thing is, I believe it was OS to AS. Yep. I'm going to say no accent. And we were right. So, I had to go in and work on this because before, if you put for your word, you put S test 4 OS and then it'll add a dash AS, you would have to put OS dash AS, but I made it so it could also be AS dash OS, AS dash OS, whatever. And so I think I have a couple more things to do on here and it should be done. I just thought about something. I'm going to go here. Nope, it was Spanish test 2. And this one is S test 5. That's what I put. S test 3. Man, I'm doing really bad right now. No, S test 5. That's what I put. I think I'm having some problems. Spanish test 2. Spanish test 2. Okay, finally I got one right. No accent on this word, and no accent on that word. Okay, we got one right. S test. Am I typing right? S test 5. That should be right. I don't know why it's not working. I hope it still doesn't have that. I might just have a mistake here. I haven't completely tested this since, I basically just finished it a little while ago and then I decided to make a video. But I seem to be having some problems here. Yeah, I'm having some problems here, so I will be right back after I fix the problems. And then I'll continue on with showing you a little bit, not much left, but a little bit more of the program. Alright, I'm back, and now it says it's right, but I really know that it's not. So, let's see. I'm going to type 5. English word, test 5. I'm going to do S test 5. And we're going to say no accent. And I think that should fix it. Now we're going to do /done. Take us back here. Start the game. 1 minute. Okay, now we're going to go to English to Spanish. Now we're going to do S test 3, or actually I think that was hola. I'm going to show you something else. This is not really, I also realized that I put hola as an example for this, which might have been bad because technically it can't be like this, but if we do this, it still works, even though technically what I put in was hola-o. Now we're going to do test 2. We're going to put in Spanish test 2. That was the right word. Alright, so then we're just going to do this. Then we're going to do test 4, S test 4, I think. Nope, it was that one. That's test 1. And it had an accent on the E. Yep, that's right. S test 4. I'm going to do AS-OS, even though what I put in was OS-AS. Say no accent, and it should be right. Yep. Test 5, S test 5, and if it doesn't work, aha, it worked. Alright, so I was able to fix the problem. I didn't fix that. I'll fix that later. Hold on a minute. Alright, I fixed it. So that's out of the way. You can see the time, and also I might add that on Scratch whenever a project gets saved for the second or more time. Then the list seems to get bigger, which is really annoying. And also means that if you have two lists next to each other, then they will, like, one will go behind the other one. So that's one reason why I have what I'm about to show you. So we're gonna go back to settings. Took me a minute and 16 seconds. Only missed test 4. I'm gonna go to fix the lists just for a second. We're gonna do add on to the lists. I can show you this at the same time. We're just gonna add a word. Test 6. That's test 6. We're gonna set. Also, another thing, if you set an accent on a letter that cannot be set as an accent, then it won't do anything to it. English word. We're gonna type /done. And now we're gonna take this and we're gonna copy it. And now we're gonna replace that. Now, real quick, let's see. Aha. So everything seems to be fine. We'll see in just a minute. But let's see. We're gonna say no. We're gonna go here to reset the lists. And we're gonna go to put in saved list. Are you sure you want to reset the current list? Yes. Paste your list in there. It should be right. And then I'm gonna check real quick and go inside the program. I don't know why I did that. Alright, so we're gonna go to this. You can see it puts in all the words, even though they were technically already there. But it puts in all the words into all the lists that you need. Sorry about that. Okay. And, uh-oh. And now we are back to here, and you can continue on as normal. So you just take whatever you copy and paste and you put it somewhere, you know, like you can save it. Probably wouldn't want to write it down on a piece of paper because then you'd have to type it all in. And if you see, like right here, that is not a P. That is some weird symbol that I found, and so it wouldn't be normally used in typing, and so it splits up the words so that, you know, cut it off at that, and it won't, you know, mess anything up. If you have like something inside the word, sort of like a comma, if someone put a comma in there, then it would you know, really mess it up. But basically, the reason I made this is because my last year in high school, I went to Spanish class, but I had trouble learning the Spanish words, and so since I was, you know, I knew how to program, I decided that I would make a simple program to randomize a whole bunch of words and ask them to me. And so I did that, but when I did that, I realized that would be better if I did one more thing and add one more thing. and so then it would like actually save the list and it wouldn't delete them every time, so that you wouldn't have to put in the lists over again. And so after a while, it went from just a small program to a humongous program, well, to me at least, that I kept on working on but never really finished. And by the time I got sort of bored of working on it, it still had a couple of bugs and also a couple of unnecessary things. And since it was made at first as a temporary program, it wasn't very well made. So what I'm doing here now is I remade the program so that it's more of, instead, my old one was called Spanish Memorization Helper, but my new one isn't a Spanish Memorization Helper, it's a Spanish Memorization Game, because I realized that when I was making this and when I did the my first one, my old one, it was more of a game because you would actually, play, and it would actually be fun in some ways. And I added a few things that would, like, it'll tell you your time so you could see if you could beat your time on your Spanish words, so it helps you work on a test so that you can get the words done and then go on to other stuff during your test, like the grammar stuff, or that's what I do. But long story, so that is actually it for yeah, I guess that's it for the tutorial, unless I forgot something. We have reset, fix, start the game, and finish. Yep. Alright, so that's it. This was actually made completely by me because I don't do, it says that in the little instructions thing, but I don't do a bunch of like team programs. But I'm gonna just real quickly show you my program. So this is just a couple things in here, and then small thing, and right here is the biggest part. So most of my stuff is in the stage. So you can see it is a lot of programming, so it took me a while. So I hope that you will tell some people that might be wanting to use my program, or you think my program would come in handy for them. And can you tell them about please tell them about my program so that I can get a couple more views, and possibly my goal is on this certain Scratch thing, I want it to get featured, which means I will get lots of views and more stuff. So more people know about it, most likely I will get that. But that's all. So let me see. Yep. But that's all for this program, so hope you guys enjoyed. If you did think that this was a very good program, or if you are learning Spanish and you like it and you use it a lot, then please leave a like and a comment, especially if you notice that there is a problem with the program. Leave a comment on if you have a Scratch account on my program, or if you don't, on this video. I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.